Got to give them a lot credit for that. We'll talk about that as the show progresses. The Los Angeles Lakers drafting on behalf of the Pelicans and ultimately the Atlanta Hawks as the Pelicans surrendered the number 4 overall pick that they acquired from the Lakers in the Anthony Davis deal to the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks moved up and grabbed DeAndre Hunter out of Virginia. This kid, he's going to be a threat from three. He defends on the perimeter. He dominated the national championship game, was widely considered to be the 4th best player in the draft, and the Atlanta Hawks got him. I was a bit perplexed at Darius Garland out of Vanderbilt going number 5 to Cleveland only because this kid Colin Sexton is your point guard there. You're trying to pair them both together. That's fine because they can both ball. The flip side is if one is hell-bent, if both are hell-bent on being your point guard, you got a different kind of problem. Maybe they could play together. I consider them both relatively undersized. It's not like one is Steph Curry and the other is Klay Thompson, who's a legit 6'6", 6'7". You have a situation here when you look at both of these guys, they're relatively small. But Garland can ball. He can play. He's got a sweet stroke. There's no question about that. So more power to Cleveland. Jared Culver out of Texas Tech went to the national championship game. Phoenix Suns picked him up at 6. Kobe White out of North Carolina, who the Knicks called in for a last-minute second interview. He predictably went. They prognosticated and predicted he would fall to number 7 at the Chicago Bulls, and that's exactly where he ended up. Of course, Jackson Hayes is a project out of Texas. The Hawks grabbed him at number 8. The Wizard Hakamura out of Gonzaga, they grabbed him at number 9. The Hawks took Cam Reddish out of Duke. So when you look at the Hawks right now, if Reddish shows up and plays, and we know that he can, if DeAndre Hunter is worth the number 4 overall pick, which we all perceive him to be worth, then you know what? The Atlanta Hawks had a pretty damn good draft. And you've got to certainly call them winners. Nobody's a bigger winner than New Orleans with Zion Williamson. We recognize that, along with David Griffin showing the leadership that he is showing and reminding everybody that Zion is not going to be a savior. This is Drew Holiday's team. There are pieces on this squad. We believe we have the potential to compete. And, oh, by the way, Zion is only going to add to that. The man's not even 19 years of age yet. He's 18. He's going to be 19 in about 2 weeks. He's 282 pounds with a 45-inch vertical leap. He's a man-child, an absolute man-child. And I think he's going to be absolutely terrific. I'm still depressed that the New York Knicks didn't get him, that somehow, some way the NBA didn't fix the draft lottery to make sure a team like the New York Knicks in the large market could end up getting a Zion Williamson. I can't believe that the Knicks and the the Knicks and the Lakers ended up with the 3rd and 4th overall pick when they went to commercial the night of the draft lottery. They went to commercial after getting you all the spots up to number 5, and the last 4, they waited for commercial. They went to a commercial, not after the top 5 picks. They went to a commercial before they announced the top 4 picks. So you had a situation where it was New York and LA with New Orleans and Memphis. And don't tell me you believed one or two things. Zion Williamson was going to end up in New York, or he was going to end up in LA with LeBron. That is what you believed. That is what we found ourselves feeling. And instead of that, the New Orleans Pelicans and the Memphis Grizzlies end up with the top 2 picks in the NBA draft. That damn Mark Tatum, that deputy commissioner in the NBA. My God, I love him. He's such a nice guy. But I didn't like him that night. Oh, I'm still mad. He laughs at me every time he sees me, ladies and gentlemen. I said, you couldn't have fixed the lottery? Certainly we can't sit up there and talk and give credence to conspiracy theorists now. New Orleans and Memphis beating out New York and LA. I mean, what the hell has this world come to? That's where we are. But it's what happened. And that's why Zion Williamson and Ja Morant ended up in New Orleans and Memphis, top 2 overall picks. And it is what it is. RJ Barrett ends up going to number 3. DeAndre Hunter ends up going 4th, but to Atlanta. And we go from there. Getting into the New York Knicks. I'm on the record last night, and I tweeted this, and a lot of people were taken aback a little bit by it. I wish I could tell you I gave a damn, but I don't. When I saw RJ Barrett crying in his father's arms while his father was talking to ESPN, I wrote last night, and I put it on all my social media pages. This moment epitomized what I saw a lot tonight. Black fathers having played significant roles in their child's lives, obliterating the stigma about us that has been disseminated for decades. Beautiful night. Some people took offense to that. I want to be very, very clear. Y'all can kiss off. Now, I do understand that various communities out there all have our troubles. And first and foremost, before we're black, white, Hispanic, or Latino, whatever word is you deem most appropriate, Asian American, Native American, Jewish, whatever the case may be, we're all human beings first. And I totally get that. And I certainly understand the point that no single community is perfect and devoid of troubles and trials and tribulations. But when it comes to the issues of fatherhood, do not tell me that African American males have not taken a major hit because of how we are viewed and how we are talked about. And when I saw RJ Barrett, when I saw Ja Morant and others by their father's side, with their parents talking about the hard work that they put in, the sacrifices that were made, the things that were done to ensure that a child's dream could ultimately be fulfilled through the proper channels, hard work, dedication, commitment, no shortcuts. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. Barrett and Ja Morant in particular. In Barrett's case, break down in tears, and Ja Morant clearly holding them back, giving props to their fathers. As a black man, it touched me. And that's why I said what I said, and I meant what I meant. And I still mean it to this day, and I will mean it moving forward. I'm going to take a moment and step away from the world of sports to say to y'all that although the black community has various troubles, and there is no denying that, I cannot tell you how offensive it is as a black man and as a father for the depiction and the stigma that has been perpetuated and disseminated for decades about black fathers. It is offensive to us. There are many, many, many men who are black, who love their children and are an integral part of their children's lives and make the necessary sacrifices and exhibit this necessary commitment just to make a better life for our children. And although you do have some deadbeat dads in our community, that don't mean they don't exist in other communities. And it doesn't mean that that particular plight is not exaggerated in our community. And so when I saw the opportunity to bring attention to that, that's exactly what the hell I did. And for anybody that has a problem with that, y'all could kiss my you know what. I want to be very clear about that. Now let me get back to sports. Having said all that I've said about RJ Barrett, doesn't mean I don't have questions. I got questions about his use of his right hand. I got questions about the consistency of his jump shot. I'm wondering what kind of NBA player he's going to be. He will be good. I'm talking about greatness. I don't know whether that's going to be the case. I don't know whether he's going to be capable of carrying that mantle for the New York Knicks. I do know that when it comes to RJ Barrett, he has the temperament, he has the dedication, and he has the kind of personality that's made for Madison Square Garden. He's not just a New York Knick. He wants to be here. He wants the bright lights of Madison Square Garden descending upon him. He wants the pressure. He ain't running from it. He ain't shying from it. Now, he only shot 30% from three-point range in college. Zion Williamson shot better from three-point range than RJ Barrett. Yes, he did. But let me be very, very clear about something. It wasn't because RJ Barrett didn't take those shots. He was always looking to take those shots. He didn't shy away from any moment. He didn't disappear. He didn't wilt beneath the pressure. That's not what he did. They just didn't fall. Except that now that you're in the NBA and you're getting paid to do this, they're going to need to fall a little bit more frequently. RJ Barrett. They're going to need to fall a little bit more frequently. I have no doubt he's working on his game. I have no doubt he's dedicated and focused. I have no doubt that he'll be a model citizen. I have no doubt that he'll be a pillar of the community. He's a good kid. He really is. And being represented by Bill Duffy, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, it don't get much better. Don't get much better than my man Duff. That's no knock against Rich Paul and the Goodwin brothers and Jeff Swartz and Jeff Wexler and David Falk and all these other people. Bill Duffy's one of the best to have ever done it. I'm here to tell you. He is. And I'm here to tell you something right now. His father being by his side, Coach K being his collegiate coach, Zion being his teammate, they know what RJ Barrett can bring to the table. I'm just hopeful that we'll see it on the next level in concert with Kevin Knox, Dennis Smith Jr., etc. I'm not thinking about no Frank Ntilikina. I'm sorry. I'm just not. That's just not how I feel about him. But I definitely have aspirations. And I'm definitely looking forward to this upcoming season because I really want to see what this is all about. I really do. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. Zion Williamson is a man-child. And I want to get back to David Griffin, in the executive VP, president of basketball operations, whatever his title is, for the New Orleans Pelicans. I got to tell you something.